This is a 1923 Heintzman Co player piano, and it was built in Toronto, Canada. And Heintzman was the premier piano company in Canada, it is said. They're often referred to as the Steinway of the North. And this piano was fully rebuilt by Riley Steers Pianocraft in CBS, Newfoundland, Labrador. And I just received it yesterday from Riley. And he done a meticulous job in restoring it. As you can see, everything is basically like new. I bought this piano 2 years ago, March of 2023, and actually there's a stamp. I can't show you now because it's deep within the action here, but there's a stamp that says this piano was made March 15th, 1923. So it's going to be 102 years old in a couple weeks time. And Heintzman had a few unique designs in their pianos. One of their most famous is this agraff bar, which you see right here. And basically the strings pass through a series of holes, and the holes keep the strings evenly spaced. And I think that Heintzman, the treble, rings almost like chimes. And I think it's because of this design. This cast iron bar transfers the vibrations to the plate, and it just enhances the sound. And you'll see all the hammers, dampers, pins, everything's brand new. These are Ronsen hammers, which were made in New York. And they're very close to what the originals would have been. All this action was originally built by the Otto Higel company, which was also in Toronto. Higel and Heintzman were German immigrants to Canada, and they brought the best piano manufacturing techniques, and their quality of work was just stellar at the time. And the player action was also built by Otto Higel as well. Higel built most of the player actions in Canadian pianos. This is a very common ear motor to see in Canadian pianos, and it's also their famous Metalnola action you see right here. All these tubes is all made out of non-corrosive metal, and the idea was it would endure climate changes and dampness better than wood. And this action is in perfect condition, as you can see. This whole piano was original when I bought it. It was never restored, never anything done with it. It was actually good in a way, because it never been fooled with and restored improperly. And of course Riley used all the proper historically accurate materials in the restoration, so it's a really good tight pneumatic system. I'll take you down to the bottom here. These are the pedals which you pump the player with. Everything's new, as you can see. Actually had these pedals replated because they were in rough shape, but now they're nice and shiny. Another thing, I'll take you around the back. Another thing Heintzman really nailed with their designs was their soundboards. You'll notice there's a lot more ribs than on a standard piano, and that was to maintain the crown of the soundboard so it wouldn't lose that curve. And they also had cutoff bars, and you'll see the cutoff bars here is laminated wood. And the idea of this was to keep the sound to the center of the piano, of the soundboard on the piano, and give the best tone. You'll see another one right here. And Steinway also does this. And one more reason why they called Heintzman Steinway of the North, because they used a lot of the same techniques in their construction. And you'll notice the soundboard is original, not one crack anywhere in it, in very, very good shape. And there's not very many times you'll see Heintzmans with cracked soundboards, because their construction was just stellar. And they used old growth lumber that was being cut down to clear farmland in Western Canada. Another thing Heintzman did, which Steinway also done, they had vertically laminated bridges, and that gives a better tone. I can't really show you because I can't get down to it there now, or the bridges, but the bridges are laminated, so it transfers the vibrations to the soundboard more effectively. And another thing they did, they had laminated pin blocks to keep the pins tighter, and that obviously worked well, because you don't see many Heintzmans with loose tuning pins. And this is something this is original. We didn't refinish this. I didn't get Riley to refinish this lid because I want to keep it original. This is a decal they always used on all their pianos, a grand piano in upright form. And it was justified, because this piano sounds better than a lot of grands I've actually played. So it's not a overstatement by any means. So I'll just explain how the player system works here for anyone that don't know. So you bit of paper off from the roll, I think. You pedal, and it creates a vacuum. So I'm creating a vacuum here now. I have it in rewind. So if there was a roll on here, it'd be rewinding right now. That's what the air motor is doing, is rewinding the roll. And so you could switch into play. And now we're into play. You can see the take-up spool just slowly spinning there. There's no roll on, so I'm losing all the vacuum through the tracker bar. So on this tracker bar, there's 88 notes. So as the roll passes over and lines up with one of these notes, it actuates a pneumatic in the action, and then that pneumatic is what strikes the key on the piano and makes the piano play a note. So there's 88 holes. There's a hole here which is for automatic sustain. There's a switch here on and off for automatic sustain. So it would press the damper pedal automatically as the hole passes the roll, just like if you were playing your actual self. And there's 2 more holes here. These are for automatic tracking. So this pneumatic here, it keeps the roll centered on this tracking bar, so that the roll don't move from side to side, because some of these, especially older rolls, they're not lined up when they're on the spool. So as they're coming off, this device keeps your roll in line, so it won't play wrong notes and that. And then, as every player piano has, is a tempo control here, just speeds or slows the air motor so that it turns faster or slower and plays the roll slower. So you actually change the tempo, and then you rewind and play. Your manual sustain, so you can press this button over, and it will lift the damper rail, and the piano will sustain. And there's 2 buttons here. This is common on most players. You press this button down, the hammer rail will lift, and it'll make the treble quieter, or it'll make the bass quieter. And this is pneumatically done. On some pianos it's a direct linkage, on this one is pneumatic. So you press this, and a pneumatic pouch controls the hammer rail. I don't know if I could show you now, because I don't know if yeah, I can. Yeah, you can see the hammer rail lifts when I press the button. So I'll upload some videos of this piano playing with good audio. iPhone won't do it justice, but I just wanted to give you a little introduction and show you show you this piano up close. Nice ivory keys, and there was a few chipped. Riley replaced them. It's just a really nice, tight job. There's no leakage. There's no, you know, this is an ideal restoration for a player piano right here. So tune into some of my videos to hear how it sounds.